Welcome in to the All Things BMX show. It's Patriot Day, Melissa.
Is that what they call it?
Wait a minute. Where'd Chris go?
He's fired.
Get it? Chris go?
Wow.
No.
You're starting off strong.
Starting off strong.
Whew.
Here we are.
There's only one person listening to you right now.
Hell, it's going down.
Crisco, huh? All right.
Hey.
Yes. Yeah, we will not forget 9/11.
No, it's Patriot
I've
Day.
seen lots of blow-ups on my feed all day, so that's pretty cool. Can't believe it's been so long.
That's what hits hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is episode 220. We're talking the Twister of Spokes this evening. We have Zach joining us from Wrenchman Wheel Build. It's going to be a good night this evening. Zach is a veteran-owned BMX-operated BMX bike shop. He's going to be zooming in with us here in a few seconds once we bring him on the screen. I want to welcome you guys all in, and those of you listening on the podcast at your discretion. The ATB crew is coming to you live from the Ethan Clark Studios here in the busy metropolis of Heartland, Michigan. It's big time.
I'm so glad you said twister of spokes instead of twister of nipples.
I thought of that one.
I know you did.
I did. You know I did.
I saw it on your Facebook. That's why I was like, oh, shit. It's going to be one of those nights.
Oh, man. We're brought to you by the good people of Motor City Harley-Davidson. If you guys haven't checked them out, go over there. Give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram and all those places. And look for Chris washing motorcycles out there.
I don't know. He's in Florida, so maybe he's at the Harley dealership down there.
Could be. If Nick finds out he's down there, he's going to fire him.
Happy anniversary to Chris and Shelly, too, by the way. That's where they're off jet setting and celebrating their long time marriage.
He was hanging out with Prince and Fell the other day.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he got a little bit of the history from Prince and saw the mega world headquarters. Melissa and I are at the Getaware news desk this evening. Speaking of Bill Prince, that's the man himself. Chris got to see the world headquarters of the Getaware and Mega Design when he was in Fort Lauderdale. Hey, man, for the coolest and lifestyle apparel, make sure you guys check out Getaware. Look at them over on Facebook. They got all kinds of new stuff coming out. Our show doesn't happen without the support of the following companies. When you guys are looking for your BMX supplies and needs and wants, make sure you guys head on over the following companies. The Hack Shack, make sure you hit up homie Mike over there. He is the man, the myth, the legend when it comes to side hacks. And he now holds the crown of Frogtown champion.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to hear his show this weekend, I would assume, where they're going to talk all about it. Fabricated
by the man himself, rode by the legend himself, Thunder Midget. That show is going to be off the rails. Hit up Mike Melvin if you guys are looking for side hacks, BMX needs and wants. Of course, our guest this evening, Wrenchman Wheel Builds, the guy's building the best wheels in the business. If you guys want your wheels built, make sure you guys check him out. He's going to be talking about building wheels here in a few minutes. You can get a bro deal from him. He boxes up a free high five and sends it to you. Just use the ATB discount code. Make sure you guys also go over and give a follow and a like on their Instagram pages for the Wrenchman Racing Team. Bianca Lass and BMX, give them a follow. And, of course, Wrenchman Wheel Builds, too. BMX Race Supply, where you can get free shipping on anything over $49.99 and up. They got all kinds of stuff over there. I got to use the bike lock the other day down in Ann Arbor when we were on a little bike ride Labor Day. Came in clutch, fits in the pocket, was able to lock up a whole bunch of bikes when we went and got some tacos. Mega Design Group, DB Sports World, and 110 Nutrition. When you guys are ordering from 110 Nutrition, make sure you guys use the discount code AllThingsBMX for 10% off. All the links for our partners and supports will be in the show notes. So make sure you guys check them out when you're shopping.
Yeah, so we also want to mention that Danger Snacks is bringing you our guest this week. Danger Snacks, as you all know, this little container of hotness here, is the snack that's the difference between dragging ass and hauling ass. So when you're ordering from them, use our discount code SHITSHOW for a discount. I need to change that. Anyways,
like you know,
I keep tripping over it, and I say it every week. The show's chat is sponsored by BMX Rocks Photography. So the BMX Rocks Photography chat question for tonight is in honor of Laura and her vast, I literally am already 6 boxes of cereal deep for the week. But what is your favorite cereal, Justin?
It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I don't know if I have one. So it used to be Captain Crunch, the peanut butter crunch, but I don't think that I would recover the same from the internal mouth injuries that you get from eating that. So I have graduated to old lady cereal, and I really like some
Raisin
of the.
Bran.
No, that's you. Don't sell me. Don't tell me under the bus. No, is the Cheerios, like Crunch ones, the new and improved Cheerios.
Cheerios
pretty
meets
amazing.
Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no Raisin Bran.
I'm gonna fit it in there.
No. Yeah, so we'll have to bring Zach in and ask him what his favorite cereal
Zach,
is.
welcome to the show. How are you this evening?
Yo, yo, yo.
What is your
Welcome.
favorite cereal?
Probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I really don't eat a whole lot of cereal.
Yeah, it's not high on the breakfast.
You know what?
The nutritional value is pretty
Oh, it's
minimal.
gone. It's gone. There's nothing there. But nothing beats a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and ice cold milk.
Yeah.
Not that almond milk stuff either.
Hey.
But
It
I'm a
works.
Cinnabon fan, so I like cinnamon and all that stuff.
Yeah. You asked for the almond milk. See?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this guy?
I'm just saying, when you're doing Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that's already out
you
the window.
can't do almond milk.
No.
It's so neutral.
You know what you follow the
don't even
Cinnamon Toast
taste it.
Crunch up with?
No.
Fireball.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Bet you Zach does.
So, maybe. maybe.
You've already got people in the chat asking where the Fireball is.
Oh, this clearly is a thing.
Well,
This is a Zach thing.
There's a long story about that.
we're going to dig into that, but we have to start the show
Have to.
with our guest with the same question we ask each and every week to our guest. Zach, how did you find the sport of BMX racing?
Well, I found the sport of BMX because, believe it or not, I used to race road bikes. And my whole family has been in the bicycle industry like forever. And it was all about road bike racing. And one year I decided I wanted to try BMX, probably when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And my mom told me she was against it. And then she said, well, if you win the junior state championship this year, you can race BMX. And I was racing BMX the next year. And then my sister followed.
Okay. Road bike.
We
So
gotta-
long distance racing or just
Like road races, time trials, criteriums. I like me personally, I like criteriums. My mom really liked the time trial stuff. My dad was kind of like a road racer guy. My dad's raced in Colorado and stuff like that. I mean, when I tell you I've been in the bike industry and we've raced all these bikes, my sister as well. I mean, we've probably done it all.
oh, that's pretty cool.
What
I
is,
like the family event?
What's criterium mean?
Criterium basically is when you're basically racing around a city block.
Oh, okay.
So it's more like, I mean, you have X amount of time that you're racing. Say the race is for 30 minutes. Whoever does the most laps. And then you have, I mean, that's how they determine the winner.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. How long did you do the road bike riding?
I mean, I did it for a long time because, you know, my dad raced road bikes even because, you know, they're from Colorado. So he raced back when the Course Classic, they used to have this race called the Course Classic. At one point, it was called the Red Zinger. My dad raced road bikes back then. We ended up moving to Hawaii. We started racing road bikes there. So I mean, I went from road bikes to BMX to mountain bikes, back to BMX, back to mountain bikes, then to downhill, and then back to BMX.
Oh, so you've been in and out of BMX a few times then, safe to say. Oh, nice.
Okay.
When did you start BMX?
I think I was about 11 or 12 years old
Mm-hmm.
when I started racing BMX.
Okay. And what?
And then I raced for a couple years and then I stopped. And then I started back, I think, when I was about 15,
Mm-hmm.
15 or 16. And it was because I worked at the bike shop that my dad worked at. And I started out working in the warehouse with him. And once I was old enough to work in the shop, I transitioned to working in the shop as a mechanic. And one of USA BMX's employees, Shannon Gillette, wife was stationed in Hawaii and he was working at the shop. So we worked together. And he's actually the one who got me back into BMX. He was like, with all the bike stuff, he's like, why don't you come out? I went out on the, road, got back into racing BMX and traveled with him for a little while. We went to California, went to Idaho and stuff like that and did some races.
Mm-hmm.
Raced in Hawaii for a few years. And then I ended up joining the military. And then I didn't ride. I rode mostly mountain bikes at that point. And then when I got out of the military, kind of got into cross country stuff and free ride stuff and downhill stuff. Then once I had a kid, when he was about 4, took him out to the BMX track, and he's been racing since. And a couple years after he started racing, I started racing and back into BMX again.
So are you racing today?
No. I probably quit racing about 3 years ago or so.
Oh,
and more so because of the bike stuff picked up.
Yeah.
And I've always been at races fixing people's bikes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've also, because I only raced cruiser and my son at the time was racing cruiser, I never would get to see him race.
Oh, sure.
So once all the bike stuff picked up and I was actually able to sit there and watch him ride, to me, I enjoyed more of that. I do miss racing,
Mm-hmm.
but me and him still go ride downhill and stuff once in a while, but I would much rather go to the track, support my team, fix bikes, and watch him race.
So we shouldn't be on the lookout for a comeback. Or is it a
I
never?
don't know. People keep asking me to get back on a bike.
I was going to say, maybe it's a never say never kind of thing. I mean, it's in your blood, right?
Well, yeah.
You got a lot of people in the chat right now offering you bikes to race.
Mm-hmm.
You're now doing the support part when you go to the races. You got the boy racing. You got a team now. Tell us how the team came about with the Wrenchman Racing team and kind of all the ins and outs of the race team.
So the team started back when my son started racing. So my whole history with the bike stuff, I worked in a bike shop. I stopped working in the shop, and ended up going to work for the 911 center here in the county I live in. But I still worked part-time for the shop I was working at. Then one of the mechanics that worked at the shop opened another shop and asked me to come work for him. So I worked for him part-time, and at the same time is when all the BMX stuff started picking up. And initially it started out with, I made a team is called Psychotherapy BMX. Because my buddy's shop was called Psychotherapy. And then
I like that.
Once he ended up shutting down and closing, the first year I kept the name Psychotherapy. And then the next year everybody was like, why don't you just call it Wrenchman Racing? Because when I was working in the bike shop, I don't even remember who gave me the nickname of Wrenchman, but it kind of stuck. Mm-hmm. And then everybody was like, why don't you just call it Wrenchman Racing? So we ended up doing that probably about 6 years ago. And then, it literally started out as me and my son and a couple other guys. The first year we ran, we probably had about 8 guys, and they were all people that used to go into the shop.
Uh-huh.
And I was not big about trying to find all these people. I just wanted to go race, have fun, hang out with people that want to do what we do, and just have a good time together. And that's how the team really pretty much started.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, last year was probably the big year and big change where I decided to combine with another team that was probably going to go away, and he wasn't sure. And we were talking and kind of joking, and I was like, we should just combine and do whatever. And then it just came about that we did. So I went from just a North Carolina-based team to now I've got riders in Hawaii, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, and Illinois.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was like 7 states. I feel like you just.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of expansion.
But we have fun, and the thing is everybody has fun when we're at the races. That's the big thing. Like, we just have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pressure. There's no crazy. You have to do this.
Okay, that was going to be my
we
question.
We have people that don't race nationals. We have people that just do Gold Cup or state stuff, and then we have people that all they do is show up at nationals. So it's great. You have a big mix of people. I wouldn't change anything of it because I think it's great.
One of the show sponsors, they've Gate 9. They very similar team philosophy. Like, they kind of got a hodgepodge of everybody. And you know what? Like, when we visited you at Marysville, your pit area was very similar to Gate 9, where just fun place to hang out. And kudos to kind of making that culture with your team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, funny story, we have a cycle therapy bike shop here not far from where Melissa and I live.
There's actually a psychotherapy bike shop in Georgia too.
When we're done with the show, I got to send you there so you can check them out. I'll send you a link.
And the only way I know that is because we would get when I was at the shop, we would get orders for the shop in Georgia.
Yeah.
That were supposed to go to Georgia, and my buddy Mike's like, I didn't order all this stuff. What is all this stuff that just showed up? Then we'd call the distributor and find out they just picked the wrong psychotherapy.
Whoopsies.
Very fun. How did you end up kind of making your niche in wheel building?
So wheel building, that's something that I've done it forever.
Okay.
So my dad taught me how to build wheels probably when I was about 10 or 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught me how to build wheels because I kept messing my wheels up, jumping and trying to do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And he was tired of fixing them. So he showed me how to build them one day. And I will never forget this because he showed me how to build a set of wheels, went to the store, and then came back and I had the wheel set built. And ever since then, like, for me, it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody has, what they do is relaxing. Like, my wife will tell you it used to drive her crazy until I got set up out here where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff you see in the background used to be in my living room.
Oh,
I used to screw and stand in my living room. I had all kinds of, it was just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stuff that I could come home and I'll build a set of wheels, and it's just, for me, it's relaxing. I love building wheels. When from my dad teaching me how to build wheels, building wheels at the shop. When I went to Barnett's Bicycle Institute when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
I actually helped them teach the wheel building part of the class because I already knew how to do all that stuff. And I just love it. To me, it fascinates me. I've done so much different stuff with wheels. If you ask Shannon, like you guys say the twist or a spokes thing, I actually do build wheel sets with twisted spokes.
Okay.
And people will sit there and talk about how the twisted spoke thing is a gimmick and whatever. So the first time I saw it, I was in Idaho with Shannon. We were at this big, like 1,000-point weekend race in Boise, right? And one of the guys he knew had a wheel set that the spokes were twisted, but he wouldn't tell me, because I asked him, like, what was the spoke lengths and stuff. He wouldn't tell me. So when we got back to Hawaii, because at the shop we had a cutter, is just process the elimination. I figured out the spoke lengths I needed, like how much longer the spokes needed to be to compensate for the twist. And then I built a set that I raced with, and everybody was like, at the track was like, oh, it's gimmicky, whatever. I wrecked one weekend, like 3 people ran over my wheel sets and they were straight. And after that, I was like, I mean, it works. But the problem is, like, when you have a wheel set like that, if you do break a spoke, then it's like, well, nowadays with aluminum spokes, it's a really big problem because your wheel will be really out of true.
Okay, so for those of us that have no idea, what does it mean to install a twisted spoke? What's the gimmick?
So basically, you're taking the spokes and where they cross like this, you're twisting them around each other.
Okay.
I only do it one twist. If you look it up, there's people that have done some crazy 3 and 4 twists because they're just doing it for show.
Okay.
But if you do it for one twist, and the thing is what it essentially does is it takes if your hub flange is like this, it makes your hub flange be like this.
Okay.
So it makes the wheel be stiffer.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, that's some exaggerated stuff. That's probably that picture right there is about two or 3 twists.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'm pulling one up so those watching.
And what's wild is, like, when I started back racing cruiser,
yeah,
my wheel set was twist laced, and I would go to races and stuff. Like, if I would go to nationals, it's wild because I would have older guys that would look at them and be like, man, I haven't seen something like that since the 90s.
Oh.
Because that's when I learned how to do it, was back in like 88, 89.
Okay. Did he end up doing yours that way?
no.
I was going to say if you have your photo, but okay.
Nope.
Interesting. I mean, it's a cool looking pattern. I clearly wouldn't have known the difference.
What's in the picture? You see a lot in like the low rider show bikes, the slow roll stuff.
Yeah,
because that's like he said, that's a lot of. I'm trying to pull up a picture of a like a BMX build with it on it. So if bear with me here, I'll have one up here in a second.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have to dig deep on my social media to see the pictures.
No, here we go. So there's, I think I can.
That's still like 4 or 5 twists on there.
Is it 1 or 2? Yeah, no, that's 3. Jesus, that's a ton. Well,
you get the. I guess I'm getting the idea. Anyways, okay.
Yeah, but that's like I needed. I mean, all you need is one twist. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So changes kind of the stability.
Oh, it makes them stiff.
Yeah.
They don't move. Like if you were to slow motion, if you were to watch, like, say a gate, for instance, if you were to take video of somebody with a regular wheel and somebody with that wheel and slow motion the video, you'll actually see where the hub versus the wheel has some flex. You won't with these.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of it. Like, so when I did it back in 80, 89, 90, I actually did a set for a guy that raced criterium races, because like with the city block thing, it's a straight, a corner, a straight, a corner, a straight, a corner. So you're trying to get on the pedals coming out of the corners. That's where you don't want your wheels to flex. And I've had nothing but people with positives about how they could come out of and power out of the corner because their wheel wasn't flexing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it for everybody? No.
Well,
I do it now mostly because I can.
right.
Not everybody's going to carry around the stuff to do all that stuff too. So
Okay.
I do.
So you're trying to bring it back.
No.
To mainstream it.
It would be cool. It would be neat, but it's not for everybody.
Right. Okay.
Just like hydraulic brakes and cable disc brakes. It's not for everybody. Cable, if people were to run disc brakes, the simpler thing is to run them cable. Personally, I'd run them hydraulic because they're a much better feel. But you also have to have either yourself that can work on them or somebody at the races that can work on them if something happens to them.
Sure.
Because you're talking about fluid versus a cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like this firsthand because you actually spend time working at the Nationals, building wheels and whatnot. So that somebody shows up like with, like you said, the hydraulic stuff. Not everyone's equipped, whether it's the vendors or the mechanics to work on those things. That's been a big debate in the cable hydraulic. I got a question for you though. In your time building wheels, you've had to see some wild stuff come and go and maybe stay. What's one of the things in that wheel building genre that you've seen in your time that is like to you the wow factor that relates to BMX though? Like this has been the technology advancement or the process or what you do in building wheels that has just kind of changed it a little bit for either how long the rims last or the wheel builds last or the strength or anything like that. What is it for you?
So for me, like the biggest thing is there's two things. Carbon rims is the first thing because I used to always be, I didn't agree with it.
Okay.
Until I started building a couple sets and really looking into it. There's a lot more advantages because they are stiffer. If you break a spoke, they're not going to go out of true like an aluminum rim will. So you also have the option of still being able to race with one broken spoke that whole weekend without having to get it fixed. So there's that. Because there's a lot of aluminum rims that are, if you're looking at weight wise, there's aluminum rims that are pretty light. I mean, they're almost close to carbon weights. Not many, but there's a few. And the other thing is, and it's really not new, but some people think it's new, is the thing with the bird spokes. Because they are stiff. Mm-hmm. I've built 4 sets of them now for people. Mm-hmm. My son included, and he was the first set that I wanted to test it on. And the thing is with building them, back in the day, there's a company called Spinergy that used to do a spoke very similar to that. And they did them for road bikes. They did them for mountain bikes. And I used to think it was crazy. Like every time we'd have to build a set, it just sucked because of the process. The process with the bird spokes is even more because of how the spokes stretch. But I can sit here and tell you that my son's wheels and any other set of wheels that I've built, I have not had to touch them since I've built them. And once I've got them tensioned. They're lighter, but they are a lot more pricey. So there is that. Like everything is like that, just like titanium spokes and stainless steel spokes. Titanium spokes and stainless spokes, you're not going to get anything, really nothing different from those other than the weight. And rotational weight is killer. Like that's where you want to save the most weight. So
Interesting. So carbon rims was one. As far as major changes you've seen.
yep.
Is that anything else you can think of? That's you feel like it's been influencing your world at least?
I mean, you still got the engagement of hubs too.
Okay.
I used to also be like not so much on the instant stuff because like I'm a guy from back in the day from freewheels when cassettes didn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start getting the higher engagement cassettes. But now you have, when Stealth was around and then Box got bottom out and then you got Onyx. But after seeing all that stuff, that's probably the other big, the big major change.
Okay.
And they're not making hubs for just BMX, though. That's the thing. They're doing it for everybody else. There's another company, Industry 9, that used to make BMX hubs that would be killer if they would get back into BMX hubs because they're not instant engagement, but they are some very high engagement hubs. And the whole, like, as a wheel builder process of it, their spokes actually thread into the hub. It is a completely different design. I mean, it's great.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I don't know much about hubs and all that stuff, so it's not really my area. But
I'm just a little bit behind on getting the pictures up. Sorry, Zach. These are some of the bird. This is the one of the builds you did with the bird spokes. And I was
what bird is it? That's the brand name?
Yeah. So
yeah. That's the first build that I did without the hook flange hubs. So what you actually have to do with those is drill out the holes to make them bigger so you can get the spokes through there.
They're and I don't want to overstop. The spokes themselves are carbon fiber, correct?
No, it's more like a string.
Oh,
they are not carbon fiber.
They're not. These are like the shoestrings, right? They're like a shoestring, and then they stretch out as you build the wheel. Yeah. Trying to hear. There's the twist right there he was talking about earlier. Here, I'm gonna go. I'll go full screen for those watching. There's that, and then here's the other ones he was talking about. Then we'll go back here. And you were telling us before with these, with the bird spoke stuff, you like build them, and was it 2 days or like 3 days or something?
The bird spokes is a 3-day process.
Holy moly!
Because you have to tension them, let them. I mean, you basically have to stretch them.
Yeah.
Let them tension, let them tension, let them tension.
So what's the big advantage with the bird spokes?
The biggest advantage is the weight.
Is it? Okay. And then combining that with, like you were saying earlier, just a few minutes ago, with the carbon fiber rims, like you're lowering the weight, strength on the carbon. Now you got the bird spokes on there. Like, where? Oh, I know. Sorry, this just popped in. You had a rider when we were at Marysville. Dude rode over, right?
Oh yeah.
He had,
and that's those hubs you just showed.
Was it? And he had the bird spokes and the carbon wheels, and the person that drove over his bike, their bike got more wrecked than his. Yep,
those wheels were still straight.
Yeah.
After that wreck.
That's what I was trying to go with the bird spokes and that. Like when you put that with the carbon hoops, dude, you got some bulletproof wheels.
That's interesting. So do you is this the kind of spoke you use most often in your build?
No.
Okay.
Hell, you know how much those things are?
No, why don't we ask?
Well, here, let me tell you. Let me tell you how much they are. If
why would I know any of that?
if I'd have got them on my wheel build,
Yeah.
yeah, you just straight been
It'd be
like
birthday, Christmas, anniversary, all the presents.
Oh man,
They retail for $8 a spoke.
Okay.
I spoke.
All right.
You
and
have
there's
32.
Average, I was gonna say there's average of how many?
32 on each wheel.
Okay.
By comparison,
36.
titanium spokes average about 229 to 259, depending on if they're raw or colored.
Okay, that's a big difference. I appreciate.
And
the
then
comparison.
stainless steel spokes are about 40 cents a spoke.
That's what I have.
Okay. Well, and then in addition, you're talking about added labor too. So like just the build alone would cost more.
Yeah, so building those wheels, the labor part of it, I'm still like trying to figure it out because it takes so long to do it.
Yeah.
I want to I'm already cheap as it is, I think, when I build wheels from what I hear from other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to you're already spending all this money on spokes. I don't want to be like, well, you got to give me $200 more just to build them.
Well, your time is worth.
So, well, I mean, I know, but that's where the thing is different. To me, it's different for me because I enjoy doing more of it. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I look at it like a job kind of thing.
Labor of love, I suppose, huh?
Right.
Okay. Oh, thanks. All right. Now that makes sense.
Your sister says that time is money.
She gets on me all the time. Trust me.
Well, I would imagine why not.
Yeah, for sure. We got a lot of people chiming in. We're going to do our chat check-in here in a few minutes. Before we do that, though, you don't just build wheels. You have a full service bike shop yourself that people can order through. Where can they order from, and what are some of the brands? What do you offer? Tell us about that.
This is where your practice came in.
So I started up when I decided to do all this stuff. I have it's wrenchmanwheelbuilds.com, and it's a work in progress because I'm still trying to get everything going. I can order. There's probably almost anything at this point that I can order. Mm-hmm. I can order everything from tangent to box. A bunch of different spokes, E6 rims, Trip 9 rims, all of this stuff from BRG. I can get all the stuff from Speedco, Avian, Mabo. The only thing I can't get is stuff that requires a brick and mortar because I do a lot of my stuff mobily. Mm-hmm. So there's still, I don't know. It's like this last year, I can get all the Answer stuff, all the S squared stuff. There's very limited brands of stuff that I can't get right now. Nice.
Well,
and it's
a good place to be.
Some of it's just because of the brick and mortar thing. I would love to do a brick and mortar thing, but I can't. But with the mobile thing, it's great. And then, starting out this year, at the beginning of the year, I had the, you talked about working at races. I had a really great opportunity that came up back in January. Mm-hmm. To work with J&R. They needed a mechanic at a race. So I was already going to be at that race. Mm-hmm. So I went and helped them out. And then that has turned into a lot of different nationals that I work at with them.
Yeah.
I'll be working for them at Grands. So if you need stuff, come check us out. But the opportunities I've had with all the stuff that I've done, to me, it's great. If you buy stuff from me, that's awesome. I can get it all for you. The primary stuff that I do is building wheels.
Yeah.
I probably, once I got hooked up with Onyx and a place to get spokes, it's like it just took off, and it makes it's so great. It's easy for me. It's something I like doing. It's not crazy that some weeks I'm knocking out 4 or 5 wheel sets.
Wow.
Some weeks I'm just doing one. I've started doing some stuff with with the E6 rims, making decals for them. It's a fun process. It takes a lot of time because I have to cut the decals, but I can do it. So,
So Adam and I had the kind of the same question. So when you say brick and mortar, some distributors want you to have an actual commercial address versus just like having things shipped to your home. I think we got a little bit of frozen.
Quality bike parts, QBP. A lot of people know them as.
Whoop, wait.
Stuff like that. Profile is one of them that they want you to have a brick and mortar.
So brick and mortar meaning like either freestanding or a building of some sort. Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily freestanding, but like there was a little lag, Zach. Sorry to jump in on top. Like an actual business front. I want to take a second though, and just from my own personal experience, explain like how easy it is to do business with you, which I feel is like key in BMX because that's not always the case. So when Zach says he likes to build wheels, I can verify this 100%. I messaged him long before we talked about coming on the show. I said, hey man, you built Chris's wheels, and this is the same story Chris had. He just reached out and messaged you because we had asked some people like who's good at building wheels. And your name's the first name that came up. So like through a Facebook message, reached out, messaged, and they're like, yeah, call this guy, message this guy. We called, messaged you, and you were like, yep, this is this, send me this. And in my situation, I just boxed the stuff up and sent it to you. And that was it. Some of the pictures are popping up of the work you did for me. And it was that simple. Zach sent me a thing via text message, and I paid for it, and we were done.
Yeah, and he would have actually was totally on board with some birthday surprises, but you just wouldn't let that happen.
It's like, hey.
So we were playing the triangle game. So I was having conversations with Zach behind you, and then you're paying invoices. So needless to say, it would have been a very easy process to have surprised you.
Yeah.
As well, which I appreciate and thank you for, Zach.
So we can do our little chat check-in here. And we want to thank our good friends over at BMX Rocks. And she was back out at the Toledo track last weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So she was hanging out, taking pictures. We're going to do our chat check-in here with BMX Rocks Photography.
Sorry, I have to be able to see.
It's all right.
But I can't put the glasses on when the headphones are on. So it's a process, people. All right. Welcome again. Thanks for tuning in tonight and hanging out with us and Zach. We want to say hi to Rick Carter, who's hanging out in the chat. Randy Gross says, awesome wheel builder. Sean Gifford says, what's up, fam? Wrenchman Racing tuning in. Let's see. Mike Miller also tuning in. He says his favorite cereal is also Cinnamon Toast Crunch with ice cold milk. Sounds like people are kind of anti-almond milk, but that's okay. Talk to him. It's low calories, people, I'm telling you. Sean also agreed with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Martin Kennard tuning in. What's up, ATB? Bill Sharp says, great show. Chris Illing says, where's the Fireball? We're kind of trying to keep that on the DL, people. Raymond Bradford. Unfortunately, Fireball doesn't make cereal. He's not wrong. Maybe they should.
I don't think it'd be hard to make a Fireball flavored cereal.
Yeah, I think that like national audience just got about that big.
Oh, I think it's a bit more than you know.
I don't. Not for cereal. Blech.
Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is.
Like a hangover cure or something.
Well, just this. Oh, I don't know about
like
that.
McDonald's Coke.
Yeah, that's a game
Have
changer.
some Fireball cereal. It'll kill y'all. Like hair of the dog. Anyways, Mike says there's no such thing as almond milk. They don't even have nipples, which also not wrong. Chris Illing commenting that Bianca is, as your sister, is faster than you, to which, of course, she agreed. And she's tuning in. Bianca's with us. And Everett Robinson also tuning in. He had prompted my question earlier about when you were coming back to racing, which, like we said, never say never.
Thanks for joining, Everett.
Debbie Wooten is in there. Great wheels. That's awesome. Let's see. Raymond says you can use his cruiser anytime. Tom Johnson says hi to us and says don't know Zach, but sounds like a good dude, which we would agree. Chelsea Crutcher, is that a team member, I think?
Yep.
They're tuning in, and welcome. We appreciate everybody listening this evening. Chris agrees that it's one big party under your tent, as did your sister, apparently with the Fireball. Let's see. Raymond said 281-pound man approved for the twisted spokes and the beard spokes. LOL. That's just a weird way to say bird. Yeah.
Ray's actually ran both the twisted spoke setup and the bird spokes.
And the bird, not beard. Bird.
I built him a twisted cruiser set. And then we unlaced them and made them bird.
Okay.
Picture that you saw with the little splatter.
That was his bike.
The little splatter hubs, because he did not want to get new shells, so I told him I would do it.
Because that's
I probably would be the least thing I ever want to do again. Because, well, the biggest thing is the second you take a drill to those hubs, you void the warranty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you said it was mandatory.
Bird knows that. Onyx knows that. They'll tell you that. But, I mean, that's the bigger thing. The second thing is it literally takes twice as long to build those than it does the hook flange ones. And Onyx right now, I think, is the only company that makes the hook flange hubs for those bird spokes. They do them with the ohms and they do them with the Ultra, the 20 mil, the 20 and 10 mil fronts, and then they do it with the Ultra HG.
Oh, wow. Okay. A few more. Yeah. Well, sounds like it. All right, a few more shout outs. We're going to say hi to Robert Cardozo over on YouTube, always supporting us, and we appreciate him. He says hi to you, Zach. Let's see. Oh, so Bianca had asked what those things were called that looked like beads that you used to put on your bike wheels. She thought you should put some of those on Chris Illing's bike. And then I think Holly Dunn. Yeah, I was gonna say Holly Dunn came up with the Spokey Dokies or something like that. So that's really funny. Jen from Gate 9 Number Plates is tuning in. We appreciate you, Jen. We were just talking about how awesome in comparison your pit setup is too, and your team dynamics. Hi to, let's see, Adam Orvitez is with us. Says hey all to everybody. Nick Quinn says time involved at your labor rate for custom wheels, meaning you should be increasing your time involved at your labor rate.
Just for the record, he'd know he's a manager of Motor City Harley Davidson.
Yes, he would. Okay, so I have never, this is new to me. Where do you find green apple Gatorade?
What?
Is this
green apple Gatorade?
Is this like an East Coast thing?
The first time I saw it was in Ohio.
Get out. Really? Yeah, Raymond was just mixing the fire. He says Fireball and green apple Gatorade gets you everything you want.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What? I'm not a huge fan of Fireball.
But together.
But with green apple Gatorade?
That'd be a hella drink.
Fire.
Yeah, I don't like a lot. It's a heartburn already.
Oh, it's already right. It's already right here.
You're a machine, Zach. You are a machine.
But I know what I got to get for a tip for my next wheel build.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As I mentioned, Holly Dunn's tuning in. She says, "Hey guys, Richfield Park BMX. I don't know if that's Paul or Austin, but they said they're listening on their way home from the race. So hopefully that was a good evening for them. Sarah Hudzik is tuning in.
You know, we've had them on the show.
Appreciate her. Yes. Which company?
Identify.
Yeah. Just testing you.
Oh, it's been a minute.
Has been a minute.
We need a recap. We need to get them back on.
We should because I have heard great things, and I see
like
Facebook blow-ups about them all the time.
They're like a regular on the Nationals
so
now.
they said
new chain rings. The new chain rings.
Yep. So she commented, "Awesome dude, keep killing it." Zach was her comment. So,
quick fact with those chain rings.
Yeah.
Some of the LTR guys got to, I guess, to demo the 4-bolt ones, and my son got to demo them too, and loves some things.
Okay, good to know.
They're a nice in between, let me tell you.
Okay,
all right.
I had never been a fan of the whole decimal thing, for a long time, and until I started looking at it, and I love all the Renin chain rings,
sure,
but I do love, both of them. They both have two different aspects to it.
Right.
You have one that takes up the big gap, and then you have, one that doesn't. They're both good chain rings. To me, we use them both, but
yeah,
it's nice that somebody came up with something in between, because it's something that's probably been needed in the whole BMX industry with all the gearing and all this other stuff going on. It's probably something that was really needed.
Well, yeah, two school of thoughts. It's always good to have a little healthy competition, and do your research and then make your choice. All right, finishing out here, a couple last minute ones. Ray Sanchez tuning in says Zach has built me 2 great wheel sets. Apparently Cincinnati has green apple Gatorade.
Road trip?
Oh
no, okay. Not
through Cincinnati, maybe.
Wow, that face was because of Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Well, there goes our demographic there.
Whew. Sorry, guys. I mean, Ohio has some okay
WKRP's
things, but it is
there.
not Cincinnati. Have you actually been to the city?
I've been to WKRP.
Okay.
I was trying to find Johnny Fever.
I'm sure you were. And
they had the big turkey drive.
I bet you didn't either.
There you go, Paul. I mentioned the turkey drive.
Elizabeth Bays says, "Let's go Wrenchman Racing. We love Zach." Ed Levine says, "Have Fireball. Zach will work." Elizabeth also commented that her son loves the new wheels that were made by Zach too. So, Nick says road trip to Cliffs. Now let's not. We're not jumping into the winter season just yet here.
No, okay? Cliffs is outdoors.
I know, but we got to go to Rays. We don't go to Rays until the snow
we're
flies.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Yes, Sean. Answering your question. Do I need to send JT some green apple Gatorade?
They have in Illinois?
Apparently they got it in Illinois too. All right. I think that oh wow. Chelsea says they have 4 tracks in less than an hour. That's pretty awesome. So Nick says we do what we want. That may be in your house, honey. But anyway, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything for Zach as we're moving along, or if you'd like any clarification on anything. Go check out his website. Thanks to BMX Rocks Photography, as always, for sponsoring our chat. And let's go back to talking with Zach.
Yeah.
Enough about hearing me.
How many races are you guys hitting up with the team a year?
Like nationals or?
Yeah. How many nationals you guys hitting up normally?
It started out like not a whole lot, and then now I don't know how many. It seems like we've been to like a lot.
Well, I mean, they have 32.
Anything that's been from the west to the east.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have a day job other than the shop and the builds
Right.
that you're doing? Or are you doing other work outside of that?
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually,
Like secret work?
so, so I worked for the 911 center here in the county I live in.
Yes, you mentioned that. Okay, I apologize.
And then
You did say that.
I transferred over to the police department
Okay.
where I work in their records division.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And as crazy as it sounds, I still work part-time at a 911 center in the county next to it, in Alamance County. Occasionally at night, because like he just can't get enough of work. So I'll still take 911 calls. The crazy thing is, I hate talking to people. I'm not a people person.
Oh,
You would
okay.
never know that by talking to me.
No, would not.
But I don't like talking to people. But the 911 stuff, when I started doing it just, I mean, I really like doing it. So once I start working at the police department and I wasn't doing it anymore and I was still able to work part-time, I just kept doing it just because I like doing it.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a part-time job doing stuff
Sure.
aside from all the bike stuff. So the problem is between my regular work and doing all the bike stuff, and that I'd actually like the bike stuff to be more.
Uh-huh.
Part-time stuff, I'm just like, if you heard about what I did, you'd just be like, how do you have time to do any of all this other stuff?
Sure, that
But
makes sense.
that's where when you come back to the wheel building stuff, that's where for me that's like my relaxing thing from everything else that I do.
Well, I can't. So you mentioned not enjoying necessarily your favorite thing, talking with people, but I imagine being a 911 operator is slightly different than making small talk than Joe Schmo under your tent, right?
It is, because even with the 911 stuff, you get yelled at and cussed at and
Oh, I bet.
all this other stuff, and it's not like I can say anything back to them. I'm just sitting here trying to help you.
You don't have a mute button like Justin does on his switchboard. Like,
Well, we do have a mute button.
F you. Okay, how
But-
can I help you, sir? Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, it's wild. But the thing is with that stuff, you never know, because what somebody's worst day to them may not be a worst day to you, but it is to them. So you're just trying to get them
yeah.
help.
Boy, I run into that every day working in the hospital,
Uh-huh.
and it kind of makes you sort of appreciate, like, oh, what would I be doing if I were in that sort of situation? So I'm going to echo what Nick is saying in the chat, and thank you for doing that service, because I can't imagine.
No.
So we appreciate that you do that in your spare time.
There is a question that popped in the chat from
Yes.
Adam Orovitz.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Sean's.
Oh, well, that's a good one. I'll let you have that one. So Adam wanted to know what prevents you from like going to more events. Is it work? Is it
Oh,
other
yeah.
hobbies? Is it just home?
Expense.
Yeah.
It's just because I can't go to all of them. I would
Mhm.
love to go to all of them,
God, wouldn't we all?
but I mean, I still have to work. I still
Yeah.
have to do stuff. The thing is if I went to all these events, like a lot of times, like even with like lately with wheel builds, I'll do them on weekends that I'm not going somewhere because I've got to get them done.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because if I'm working during the week and doing all this other stuff, you got to think when I go to a race, it's not a Saturday Sunday thing or a Friday Saturday thing. I leave out Thursday,
Yeah.
So, and then don't get back till like most times Monday.
God, that's wild, man.
So it's a bigger ordeal with all that stuff. So if I have things that I need to get done, but there have been times when I've had to take stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm done working, like when I go work at JNR at races, I'll take stuff with me. And then when I'm done working that night, I'm doing stuff that I promised people. So it's like I'm not really done working.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But that stuff doesn't bother me. I mean, I like it because what else am I going to do, right? I'm just sitting there doing nothing.
So just from my own knowledge, is it something? I don't want to ask this. How much attention does it require to do that? Like, can you sit in front of the TV and have a movie on and like kind of just be truing up some wheels, or is it something that you feel you have to really? Like, what's your process? Do you turn some heavy metal music on? Like, kind of what's your vibe?
I have literally sat in front of a TV and started building a wheel, and I will sit up at the TV and not even look at what I'm doing.
Okay.
And just because it's like muscle memory.
Yeah, that's what I wondered.
What?
I mean, I've been doing it so long. I can sit there and have a conversation with you and sit there and build a whole wheel at the same time. I do. I mean, heck, I do it at the races all the time.
Yeah, I can see that.
People will walk up and they'll talk to me, and then they'll be like, "I don't want to interrupt you," and I'm like, I'm sitting there throwing spokes in the hubs, and I'm like, "No, you're not interrupting me at all."
That's always fascinated me about people that can like crochet and knit, and it's because that's like a count, but they can be doing that and like still TV conversation, like whatever, because the muscle memory, like just like
and there is
a point and move on.
There kind of is a count because like half the spokes go on one side of a hub, the other half go there.
Yeah,
and it's so like what he's doing
and
is
the
very
direction
similar.
wise.
There's just such a unique talent that you have with wheel building, because like there's not many that do it, and like especially like in our little tiny sport of BMX, you can like name them, right? Like they're like people know this guy or that guy or this girl
or
that
you.
does it, or you know there's not. It's such a niche talent. It's being lost like every few decades. Less and less people learn how to do it, and
right.
Like kudos to your dad for teaching you. If somebody was wanting to get into wheel building, top 3 things you would tell them to do to be a good wheel builder?
Good question.
Probably just learning the initial process of starting it.
All right.
Like I can tell you the guy that ran the shop, Psychotherapy, he builds wheels different than I do. Mm-hmm. And there are people that will do this, that he would put all of the spokes in the hubs and then build it. I didn't learn that way, and I probably could never do it that way just because to me it's more of a hassle. I go from side to side to side to side.
Gotcha.
Because to me it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
But like my buddy Mike that did it, it's easier for him to just put them all in and then build them from there. Once you get that down, it's tedious. Mm-hmm. Building wheels is tedious. We were at a race one weekend, and I had to build two wheel sets. So one of the guys that was his kid raced on my team, we were at his house, and he was like, "Oh, I want to learn how to build wheels." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'll show you how to lace this wheel set, and you can lace it." And he did. I showed him how to do it. He did it. Mm-hmm. But it was coming to the truing part and that's where it'll get like most people all the time, because if the rims have to go left or right, you're having to tighten up the opposite side spoke. But however much you tighten it is what determines how much it moves over. And that's where a lot of people have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
The finesse to it. Yeah.
The side to side and then the up and down.
Oh,
sounds like a lot of patience.
Like the few times I did it when I worked at the bike shop, it was keeping it centered over the hub. So it was that left to right stayed over the middle of the hub, and then the up and down, the guy that ran the bike shop would help me with that. But man, he was fast too. I mean, he'd done it for 50 some years, but it's like a fine-tuned science. So you'd said learning the process is one. Was a
couple other?
What would you tell them? Okay, learn the process, learn your process, right? And then what would be some of the, maybe let's go with one more thing for a budding wheel builder.
Probably the side wouldn't be as much. The bigger problem is the up and down.
Okay.
So you got to think about if the wheel's going around, but it's got to hop up and down, right?
Yep.
So if you look at on the truant stand how it is, there's a spot that it's going to come low and a spot that's going to come high.
Yeah.
So you want the spot that comes high, you want that to come back down. So basically what you're going to do is it's crazy because you're going to loosen that side of spokes, and then on almost the opposite side, you're going to tighten those spokes back up, and that's going to basically move the whole rim this way. It sounds weird, and it's a pain in the ass, but
so since we're still,
it takes a lot of practice.
Sorry, Zach, I interrupted you. Since we're still on the wheel building, Sean had asked earlier in the chat, do you have a favorite hoop that you like to work with? Or maybe one you really don't like? Well, no, maybe we shouldn't go there. We'll stay positive. What's your favorite one?
Go-to rim.
So my go-to rim lately has been the E6 rims.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why, not just because they're, he co-sponsors my team, but,
of course.
But I am a big fan. Like, people think I'm crazy. And once I started getting into some of these carbon rims and stuff, I've started weighing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have yet to find a rim that is lighter than any of his rims.
Okay.
None of them. Like, I will look up the weights that people post on their websites, Box and DCTX, all these other guys, and then I'll actually weigh them when I get them.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, and if you look at E6, he doesn't post weights, and the reason is because you can't, with carbon fiber, you can't guarantee that one rim is going to be exactly the same as the next rim. It's not like aluminum. So you can put people can post what they think it's going to be, like Icon rims and stuff like that. But I've also never seen those weights to be accurate as well. They've actually been higher than what they actually are. So my thing is with the E6 rims, it's only because, like, I build them, and it's not because I push them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've had people ask me for. Because I'll build anything. I've built like the Gate 9 rims, Box rims, E6, Trip 9. I've built DCTX. I built the Icons. Now, when you're looking at rims, to me, what I like is some of the differences in the rims.
Mm-hmm.
I like the E6 rims. I really like their low profile rims. But I also really like the Gate 9 rims because of the eyelets and the way those are made.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the Box rims, their Hex Labs rims, because of how those eyelets are made. They just are more to me, they're more sturdy. It's a more solid rim.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about like the weights of rims, that's something different. But as a builder aspect of it, I look at other stuff. Like, if you look at aluminum rims, Alienation makes their Mischief and Malice rim. but their spoke holes are also directional. So they put less stress on the spoke nipples.
Right.
Whereas, box, their spoke holes, answer, their spoke holes, and even the Sun Envy rims, they're just straight. So when you have the spokes, crossing, the spoke nipples crossing up into the hole, but it puts pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
The way Alienation makes their rims, because the holes are directional, there's no pressure, so it eliminates that. And to me, that's something that I'll notice and that I like.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Goddamn, Sean coming in with those hard questions. All right.
I know, right?
Like it, but you know what? That's a excellent answer on that, because you're explaining like what's the pros and cons, and explaining, hey, this is what's good, this isn't. Good stuff there. Kind of, can we shift gears here for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've said this before on previous shows after we met, right? Is that you have one of the coolest logos in BMX. Where did this logo come from?
That is my sister all day long.
All right. So,
and if you have seen some of the stuff that it started out as and then what it ended up being, that's just like her creative mind and thinking this is going to be cool, and then it turns into this is going to be cool, and no, wait, this is going to be even cooler.
So I'm going to pull a picture up here of the logo, get it on the screen real quick. What is like? First of all, you want to introduce your sister real quick, and then let us know what her role is with the company.
So, my sister's name is Bianca, and it's Bianca Lathan, but we're twins. So a lot of people don't know that. We've both, been in the bike racing and stuff our whole lives.
Yeah.
We both were in the military. She ended up retiring. I got out shortly after 9/11, actually. Mm-hmm. But she has done, like, I do all the bike stuff, and she does all social media stuff. She does graphic stuff. She's done schooling for all the graphic stuff. She actually works, as a civilian for, I think it's First Sustainment Group mm-hmm. in Kentucky, and manages their social media and does all of their video stuff. So because of doing that, like, she has taken some of that and incorporated into making some of the stuff for the team. And once she started racing, because son would go out there in the summers when her husband was stationed in Fort Knox, and she'd take him out to the races. Well, then she decided, let me get back into this. So mm-hmm. we got her a bike, and she liked it. And that was it from there, because she wanted to get back into it. So it started out as just her racing. Mm-hmm. And then she's done all of our jersey stuff, all of our graphic stuff. She made the logo. She's done, she did the wheel build thing. She did the Wrenchman racing thing. She made the drippy guy. Then she started messing with the animation stuff. And then she got into taking pictures. So now she takes pictures with USA BMX, sometimes at nationals. So she's pretty much all over the place too. Wow. I mean, it's like how I'm all over the place doing bike stuff.
Yeah.
She's all over the place doing media stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. The videos she's made, the animation she's done, it's amazing. I'd like to kind of go into what branch of the military did you serve in?
We were both in the Army. I was in field artillery as an engineer.
You said you were in field artillery and she was in...
Engineer.
She was an engineer.
Okay. It was like glitching just for a second. All right. How long did you guys serve?
So I was in for about 9 years,
Okay.
Jesus.
and I served in. I ended up going to Kosovo when all this stuff happened back in 2099, and we joined about the same time. So just before the Kosovo stuff happened, she was in Bosnia.
Uh-huh.
When I got out, then all the the 9/11 stuff happened. So she ended up going overseas for that. Her husband went overseas for that. And then she ended up retiring. God, I don't know how many, probably like 5. God, it had to have been 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband's still in. That's why she's over in Washington right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a house here in North Carolina where my parents moved, and they're still at the house with her kids.
She
Okay.
said she put in 23 years. That's pretty
Yep.
damn impressive.
Well,
Thank you both.
thank you both. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, wow. Bottom of our hearts. That's incredible.
I don't think we could pick a better day.
No.
Yeah, that's impressive. She said she was airborne.
Yep.
Wow.
Fuck. Your
I used to mess with her because when I went to airborne school, airborne and air assault, and I used to mess with her because ended up going to rappel master school.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then it took her a while before she finally went to jump school.
Yeah, she just said I was a jump master.
And then she jumped master school, so she had to one up me.
A younger sister
Wait.
or older sister?
Yeah. Well, they're twins.
Oh,
wait,
Oh, we're twins.
nobody freaking said
she's
that.
15 minutes. She is 15. Yeah, she is 15 minutes older than I am.
No.
So,
If that was
wait.
said, I totally missed
Yeah,
it. So that's even cooler.
So did you both jump out of planes?
Yeah, we both at separate times were stationed at the 82nd down at Fort Bragg.
But you both jumped out of perfectly fine airplanes.
I mean, yeah, people do that,
Yes.
honey. I know
Fuck
that's
all
hard.
that shit,
I know
dude.
that's
No,
hard to believe,
that's
but
not- there's
we
no-
we want people.
Yeah, we
that
need more
want to
people
do
like
that.
them. Yeah, totally.
Because we don't want to do that. So, amen for the both of you. Wow. Yeah, so John Ryan says she's definitely the better looking twin. So, which I imagine most people probably agree with. Zach kicked her out first.
That's what I tell people.
You're like, yeah, she wanted to one up me. I kicked her out.
I got to tell you guys, you and your
great.
sister, you guys have brought so much. Your friends are in the chats,
Yeah, this
in the
is
comment
great.
sections. They're having a great time. We appreciate it. Thank you. And comment away. It just helps the algorithms that you guys hear about.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys,
crazy.
a lot of fun. It seems like you and your sister are still having a ton of fun in BMX. We have our trivia question we got to get to, and next week's guest. And then we got to do our sign off here shortly. We're gonna do the trivia, Zach. If you're ready for this, all right.
We'll see who was paying attention.
Yeah. And, oh man, we got a little extra bonus gift this evening.
No,
Are you trying? Was I supposed to be paying attention?
Nope.
No.
I used something
Okay.
you said, so
Right.
I don't want you to answer.
Exactly.
Is what I don't want you to
Yeah,
do.
don't answer. Here we go. We got a little bonus gift this evening that was delivered today. So
You want to be the one that introduces that?
sure. Kind of excited about this.
It's the little.
Because you don't use them.
It's the little things in life. Yeah, that's
Yes.
why it's the strangest thing for you to be excited about. Because there's literally not a single one of these on your item.
Just never know, Melissa.
I guess.
You never
I
know.
guess.
All right, here we go.
Never know. Never know. All right. Well, yeah. So you got your usual sticker pack going out here. There is your very own container of Danger Stacks in there. There's some Harley Davidson chapstick and a keychain and stickers going out. I got your very own Harley Davidson beverage koozie here and sunglasses to match, so you can get your what was that Tom Cruise movie? Cocktail.
Cocktail.
Yeah, where he's
Cocktail on.
no, but or
No,
where's the one where he's Risky business.
Risky business? You just pulled a risky business?
Because I was like, I was thinking about him like shooting. Anyways, and then your the special gift. This is a very limited edition.
Very limited, ladies and gentlemen.
And Justin doesn't even use one.
I have keychains. I got the.
You have them.
I have the one we got in Fort Lauderdale with Fell for the NHL hockey game.
I collect them. What do you do with them?
Hang them on that thing next to the door.
Exactly.
So you have a very limited edition here. Try to hold it up. It's an ATV keychain.
Keychain.
They just got delivered today.
Yeah, literally. This is aside from the one that's on my keychain, the first one that will be going out.
Oh, so you took one after talking all that shit?
It makes sense for me to have a keychain. I don't understand why you have a keychain. You paid for
You
them,
see that janitor keychain they gave me with that promotion?
Is it on like the zip out thing?
Yeah, you ordered it for me from Amazon.
I didn't order you shit.
The thing that has my badge hanging on it, that thing? Yeah.
Order that.
Oh, I totally look like a high school janitor.
I was like, I didn't do that for you. You did that for yourself. All right, and then you got your Motor City Harley Davidson like orange backpack here, and those Harley covers, and then I came across this, and this
Did you find that from the basement, son?
This is the last one, Sean. Sean.
But I feel like it fits because of the last race with him and Emily hanging out.
The winner's gonna get their very own I Love District Moms, especially for all of you that watch our show on a regular basis. You know what this means. In the Porty Potty 6.
I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm probably not gonna get a district number this year.
Yeah, oh no, I'm aware. I mean, it's fine. You don't get it's not like getting paid for your grades. You don't get paid for your district number. So yeah, all right. You just keep racing hard, honey. You'll get there.
There's Mr. Wrenchman.
Oh, I like it.
There he is.
So, anyways, the question is: earlier in our conversation, Zach was throwing around some names, and he mentioned a current USA BMX employee who he happened to befriend. I believe you said in Hawaii is where you first met. But if nothing else, you were both in Hawaii at the same time. So I would like to know for the win, which USA BMX employee is a good buddy of Zach's?
Tom Brady.
That he met. He's not in the...
No, not Tom Brady.
And
God damn, his sister was
I was like, I don't feel like I can give it to your sister.
Holy shit. I don't think you finished asking the question. Bianca had it.
I mean, yeah. I feel like that's cheating slightly, though.
Aaron Hernandez does not count. Wait, that's not... Damn it, I got to get my glasses back on.
Ellen Sonor.
No, that doesn't work for the end. No.
There's your Tom Brady. Yeah, okay. Well, I thought that'd be a little tougher, but you all were paying attention.
Yeah.
So I
think
appreciate
Ray got
that.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is gonna go out to Raymond Bradford. Here, you're getting your very I Love District Moms T-shirt, care of Dye Job Apparel. Hashtag the
I can't
syndicate.
think of a better guy to get that shirt.
Yeah. So Ray, message me your home address, please.
That guy breaks frames and loves District Moms.
Yeah, I mean, there's a logo for you or a motto.
Breaking.
Watch out! I breaking frames and
breaking District Moms.
Okay.
Well,
we're done. Time out.
Breaking frames and breaking.
Yeah, stop.
No, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, all right. No need. No. Okay, we'll talk about next week's guest.
Next week's guest. Are you saying it or me?
Go ahead.
We are going to be hosting Terrence Carter, who, for anybody who doesn't know, is the mastermind behind the Krupp and Carter. I hope I'm saying that right. Krupp and Carter clothing company. And actually, if you happen to notice the T-shirt that Justin is wearing this evening, this is one of their designs. So I imagine that all of us will be wearing some of our new apparel next week. But we're excited to talk to him. He's got lots of awesome things coming out, and he's really trying to take over the BMX brand world.
It is going to be Next week's show is the mid-school BMXer's dream.
Yeah, Justin and him have already spent lots of time
Bro, did we broed
breaking
out.
it down.
We broed out. We talked a lot about PacSun, the mall back in the 2000s.
I mean, that store still exists.
It's not what it was. It's not what it was.
Because you guys can't see her, but my daughter is sitting to this direction of me. And we just said Pacific Sun. There she is. And our eyes lit up because she has seen that store in the mall. You've probably been in that store, right?
It's totally different.
It's gone.
They don't sell DCs or
mainstream.
Yeah, it's totally different now.
Okay.
Can't go in
more
there.
hipster than it is.
It's preppy now. I don't know.
Mid-school BMXer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
We got good stuff there. All right, we're good. All right. I want to toss it over to you, Zach, for shout-outs. Thanks. Going to put you full screen. Take your time giving the shout-outs. What do you got?
One more motto. Or one more motto.
Motto?
It's all coming together.
T-shirt?
Splitting frames and breaking hearts.
Ooh, John Ryan.
I like that, John.
That could, we're coming up with a signature shirt for Bradford here. Yeah, we can make this happen.
That was my last. That was all. I just wanted to add that.
All right. You got that wrote down? Good stuff.
No, but I probably should.
All right. Yeah. Thanks and shout-outs.
You got them?
I don't know. Big shout out to everybody that supports me, everybody that promotes us. Big shout out to my race team, Wrenchman Racing. I do a lot of stuff because I love to. Big shout out to the people that help in it. My sister, Ray Bradford, Jessica, and Ed. It's a big task to do run a big team like that. Big shout out to you guys for having me on the show, and all the other brands that let me do what I do.
Right on.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And again, reiterating, thank you and your sister and all of our active and retired military for your efforts and your service today and all days.
Yeah, it's really cool. Is like when we do the shout, like in the beginning of the show, when we go through the businesses, you got like the Hack Shack in there. They're Mike Melvin's a veteran.
Yeah, we have a ton.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know what? And
we appreciate you all.
We appreciate you, Zach and Bianca, and everybody. Yeah.
Yep, and we won't forget.
Hang out for a second, Zach. You'll be off screen just for a minute here. We'll shut the show down. But again, thank you guys for everything, and until next week when Cup and Carter join us.
That's right.